Ken Sethi, Genesis Imaging, giving me a testimonial.
After 15 years of being in the business, and initially it was a struggle, but after the first year, we was well on the road, making money, expanding the business, things were going really, really good. We knew we had about 10 years in the business, 10 to 12 years in the business with the services we were providing. We knew the changes would come, but the unfortunate thing happened was the change came a lot quicker than we anticipated, and at the same time the timing was, we went into a recession as well.
So you're talking about the change in terms of going from cellulose film
to digital.
There's that change, plus the change in the global economy.
So timing wise, and the business was okay for up to 10 years. We're still expanding, and obviously we took on new premises. So we had new premises, changing the economy, changing direction of the business, all came in at the same time. 4 years have been really, really hard, and it just changed. It just drained your energy. You lost all motivation, the passion we had 15 years ago. I felt was all gone basically due to those factors. So, last 4 years was just every day coming in, no motivation, no energy, no passion, no drive.
Just surviving.
Just surviving, basically. We went to the one of the seminars, Growth Club, and we met Naresh there. And Naresh is an accountant, but he's not an Action Coach client. So we spoke to him, or Howard spoke to him, and obviously he was telling him, although he's aware of Action Coach and he goes to their seminars, he's actually got an independent coach. So obviously Howard and Naresh got talking, and then I met Naresh properly when he came to our premises about 6 months ago. I think it was 4 months ago, I can't remember how long ago it was. But when I spoke to him, the guy was really, really, he was on drugs. That's what it looked like. He was full of passion, enthusiasm, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, what is this guy on that he's got so much passion about the whole thing? He was motivated, and just talking to him, we found out obviously you was our coach, and we said, yeah, we'd like some of that, please, So when you walked in, I was probably at the lowest energy-wise, motivation-wise, focus-wise. It just wasn't there. And I was thinking, working with you for the last 4 or 5 months, or how long it's been. And I remember you saying to me when you came in, and you said, what's your passion? What drives you? And I said, well, nothing really, because I am what I am. I do what I do, and I'd lost all interest, and I was just plodding along. Just trying to survive, basically. Couldn't see a way out of it. If you look back at what we started off in business 15 years ago, all the services we offered at that time, zero. None of those services are on our price list now. So everything we do now is a totally new, although it's within the photographic industry and dealing with artists, but it's 100% new business we found. And now we're going to another dimension, which is actually, in the past we've dealt with photographers and artists, and now we're looking to go drive that business into more the commercial, the exhibition, display, retail, graphics. We're trying to push a bit into that. So it's a combination of perhaps getting coaching from you, and then maybe finding another market where we've established now. We've been doing sort of mounting, framing, printing for the last 4 years now, and that's the core business now. So maybe we've built a reputation, and that's now slowly kicking off with your positive mindset that you've given me. I feel combine the two together. I think I've got that passion, that drive back.
I mean, one of my approaches is actually being a generalist. I mean, I'm not affiliated.
Right.
And that's kind of, I think, what gives me the ability to find the bit of information, or maybe the CD or the book or the poem or whatever it's going to make, whatever it is, and give it to people. So actually we're dealing with exactly it's like a more of a bespoke, tailored to that business and that business's challenges.
Sure.
Because you may be good at certain things that you're flying on, but the things that are holding you back are the things that we're going to make.
I think Einstein said it. If you do the same thing day in, day out and expect different results, well, that's crazy.
That's insane.
And insane, yeah. And it made sense. We're trying to do something and our approach is exactly the same every time, and you're expecting to deliver different results. Well, that sort of clicked, and I said, right, could try something new. And I think maybe timing-wise, he was there and he was giving us new ideas. And listen, I said, look, all you can do is try. If it works, and if it works, great. And if it doesn't work, then you don't use it. But, which we never had that philosophy before. Within the team, I think I'm probably the one who's been the least resistant, I think. And I would have said, probably, before we started the coaching, I thought I'll be the most resistant to change because, the whole culture about the staff and everything, it's mainly me who drives that. And I'm thinking, well, to change myself would be quite difficult, but I realised we needed to change something. I'm not taking the credit for it. I think Howard definitely takes the credit for that because he's the one who instigated it.
I think the thing that it's clear it's a combination of things, and it takes team to get involved.
Sure.
Just a quick question about vision and mission. That's where I pretty much start.
Yeah.
Usually it's the thing that people kind of struggle with the most up front.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And there's no result,
No.
and it's the hardest part.
Couldn't agree more. I'm thinking, what the hell are we doing this for? That first CD you gave me, about why. I'm thinking, well, why? We do it because I want to make a living. That's why we do it.
And what would you say now?
Yeah, I understand it, and I think it was a good 3 months of going over I used to call it crap, but it's the 3 months of going over and over it again before it sort of started sinking in, and then there was a point it came and I said, right, I get it now. Well, the easiest one is what happened yesterday, basically. Went to a job and it went slightly wrong and thought we could bodge it and get away with it. Spoke to the guys who were installing it and they said, well, look, it's not going to work. And my past reaction would have been, okay, well, look, let's try it and see if it works or not. But I took their advice straight away and I said, okay, so what's the problem? So why isn't it not going to work? And they explained, and I took it on board and I said, okay, guys, let's just tell the client we've screwed up and we're going to come back and redo it for her. And she said, well, why don't you just bodge it? The way I would initially reacted. And she said, why don't you bodge it? And I said, look, no, long term is going to come back and bite us both on the arse because you're doing this job for someone. So and obviously I don't want you to get complaints, and then obviously then we have to come out and do it, so let's just do it properly. And that's something we would have not done previously. Would have gone with the client's idea, my idea, and we could have got away with it, but the whole the whole process
from a vision, a purpose,
and that's what was driven by okay, fine, let's look at the bigger picture, let's look at the reputation, and I think that came out of vision and mission. Well, obviously, what's the other phrase I learned by listening to this? The fish stinks from head down, and I think if I'm not inspired and if I'm not motivated, then I just feel I can't build a team. The guys will obviously be inspired if I'm inspired. They'll be motivated if I'm motivated, and that's the whole philosophy now. I believe in. I would definitely recommend it. Especially if the business is struggling, if they're not motivated, if they're not focused, if they're energy drained, then I think it's a must, because as I say, it changes your whole outlook, view. You always say it's life-changing stuff, and I would say it is definitely life-changing stuff, because I look back 12 months ago to what I was then and to the way I am today, and without coaching, I don't think it would have happened.
And on that note, do you think there's any going back to the way you were?
No, definitely not. No.
No.
And I'm still learning. There's new ideas we look at, and it's not just about business either. It's almost like a life coach rather than a business coach. Because I think we do a lot of good stuff with the business, but it also changes you as a person, and I think that will reflect in, as I say, home, kids, your relationship with your wife, all of that. I think it will have an impact on that as well for the better.